Hello, CZ. Well, let's get to it. As usual, begin with narrative control, really, and it's concerning this case, really, and a media circus and a political circus it has turned into. Well, I'd like first to address the desensitized masses pertaining to assault on men, on really society not being phased by it, really. I always try this experiment and I say, how about we gender swipe, right? What if Hashim did those things to that woman? What would it be like? Okay, and each one of you actually know the answer to this question, right? There will be an uproar, but now it's just jokes and technicalities and political angles, you know, especially the lawyer representing the man, you know. And the pressures when it comes to actually rendering justice for things that have happened, and this is actually interesting to me, because this thing came out. Actually, I don't know, one day after or 2 days after I made a video talking about these type of issues. If you don't remember, you can look it back. Okay, the first day it was reported, and when I made a video talking about these issues, right? So I don't know, the issue mainly with these sexual assault cases is that evidence is the issue. So like you have no references to where really justice was rendered, and people always get stuck into I don't know, wars, war of words, but really there's no movement, there's no, especially in this case, So I don't know, I want you to do your best and this thing to like end, It's either it happened or it did not happen. That's my perspective from where I stand, okay? It either happened or it didn't happen, okay? So, yeah, let's move on. I actually forgot this slide in the last video, but I know it's for a reason. It's a joke, all of these wages that people get paid. It's a joke, seriously. So, more talk, but most importantly, they don't explain how a comet can come back, unless it has an orbit. That's the only way it can come back, if you believe in the globe anyway. But all of this talk, like they say, is according to NASA. Right? Now I'll do a video compiling the information I've gathered pertaining to this issue. I've not talked about it in depth like at all. And really, I shall give my perspective then, A lot of people are like, it's a topic right now, It's the biggest topic right now. So, you see, I always say some things, me and my mouth, And there are always answers out there. Yeah, so like I said, let me just say that. Like I said, you wanna know what I said? Go to the video named Houthi Rice something. It's beginning, okay? Remember that WF thing I was talking about? The command is given and now they're carrying it out. Like, it's a beast, right? So they legalized these things in the first place. That's what I would like to talk about, okay? They came into our shelves because you said that they were safe. Research was done, due diligence was done, and these were safe for serving, especially to children. And now you are flipping the script all of a sudden. And and the most amazing thing is that people aren't really asking why these things were illegal in the first place to be in our shelves if they are not safe for the health. That's the type of conversation I wanna personally have. Okay, that's the type of conversation I wanna have, because people are not taking responsibility for the power they have, because they don't really deserve that power. Okay, and this is me just destroying whatever they are trying to distract people from. And of course, how do they do it, do you think? They tell you inside a cell. There's a lot of things in there, but the most important thing is the nucleus, and it has the information which you know as DNA and RNA and other stuff like that. But the rest of it is just the digestive system of the cell. So yeah. Okay, so I saw this thing. It was brought to my attention. And like I said, this movement of mental issues and the man being the banner for mental issues, being the largest percent affected by these mental issues, because society is trying to kill a nigga. But, you know, like the white guy who went up Mount Kilimanjaro with the fridge. What he's saying is right, but society is not really ready to talk about how we overcome, right? And I've tried to talk about how we overcome, but of course, as usual, they're trying to narrative control, right? So we're going to talk about a diagnosis, right? This is a diagnosis, right? A diagnosis called the depersonalization and derealization disorder, right? You can read the few overview, right? And I once made a video about the spirit realm and experience and how it feels like, okay? And now we're going to look about the symptoms, yeah? Look at the symptoms, okay? And I would like to invite into the chat religious people, yeah? Religious leaders without any bias. Just stay in your lane. Don't have any sort of, I don't know, scientific perspective on. Just carry your faith and look at this. Right? So, they are feeling out of their out of body, right? And they are not in control of how they move. Yeah, they sense that their organs are contorted, right? Emotional numbness, right? They don't feel emotion, right? And of course, lack of memories. Yeah, these are the symptoms of depersonalization symptoms. These are the symptoms of depersonalization disorder, right? Yeah. Now the realization symptoms. Yeah. Feeling the people surrounding you are not real. feeling emotionally disconnected, like emotionally numb, just another, just phrasing, right? Of course, the surrounding, the surrounding appears to be unusual, right? Blurry, even colorless. It seems to have two dimensions, so they say. They are flat with no depth. Even the person suffering can be unaware of their surrounding. Thoughts about time, of course, that ties into memory, right? Because if you don't remember, then time becomes distorted, right? Time lives in our minds, just like God, okay? And He is time, right? And of course, unrealistic thoughts about distance and size, the same thing as the other thing, right? And of course, I went further to look at other sources. They talk about the same thing, feeling time slowing down and ramping up as usual, hypersensitivity to the senses, right? Watching events and activity unfolds like in a movie, so like they're feeling out of their body type of situation, right? So it goes further to say disconnected by thoughts and feelings, all of that we talked about, yeah. Surrounding environment, robot-like feeling, meaning that you're not actually in control of your limbs, and it goes on and goes on, sad and anxious and things like that, you know. Now the causes of these disorders or diagnoses are those, as you see, right? People somehow, if you read the MK Ultra papers, then you know that they can break a person and basically make them invite in a spirit into their body. You know, they say I don't know, they use terms like disorder of like personality disorders, yeah, the spectrum of, yeah, where people seems to have split personalities. You know, some have 20, some have 12, some have 5. You know, or the whole shebang. You know, and this ties into that. You know, this ties into that. You know, and in reality, what they're saying is this diagnosis here, from a spiritual perspective, if it's worth anything to these people, this has a telltale signs of possession, right? And pills will just make the whole situation worse. No wonder people are just killing themselves, because they're not getting the appropriate help for the appropriate problem. Okay, what these people just come up with is just a diagnosis of things that they don't really understand the depth of, you know. And trust me, the devil knows. Okay, and if you subject a person to these things, they lose that hope, even starting questioning the existence of God, and basically that somehow enables them to break a person and do whatever they want with their body after they have invited a spirit into them. So these mental issues and talks like that, they are like really serious, because I do agree that there are mental disorders, but there are misdiagnoses, of course, within them, and that should be like the focus of separating, you know. But since state and church have set themselves in a separate situation, people don't even believe in the devil no more. So it's a situation that was created by the armies of the devil, and people have to be like aware of what is going on, right? So of course, he's back at it and basically saying to us Christians, believers of Christ, that if we do not take the jab, then we are like committing suicide. It's a mortal sin type of kamaga type of situation. You know, the nerve of this man's, the nerve. Okay, the agenda is still on. They still want to get into your DNA. Now people have to ask yourself, why this push? Why this push? Because they think they have a power over you. That's why they do this to you. So you either let them rape you or you don't. You fight back. That's all up to you individually. Okay? And nobody's gonna fight for you. You have to fight in your own way, in your own capacity. Okay, that's how we move forward, right? This biohacking phenomenon, this is that transhumanism situation, right? Age reversal and this and that, you know. As usual, like I've said in the previous video, right? Iron and clay cannot cleave to one another. They just can't, right? So all of these people are saying they're just paving way for that prophecy of people not being able to die for some reason to just occur. So yeah, just sit and watch everything unfold, and it will unfold to the T, to the word. And of course, my views on this, like I've said, it's a weapon. Okay, I've heard Nape talk about this, like, oh, they're in the process and they are waiting for some documents. Like, that's what they say. They're waiting for some documents for Starlink to be deployed here. Well, you just have to take responsibility for whatever happens. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. Shivers down the spine. Illinois. This happened, apparently. Shall I talk about this? Now, what is this about? Well, they figured if they create a bigger scandal, they can basically paint over another story, another scandal. Okay, this iPhone monopoly, Apple monopoly. There's a guy from New York. I shall find his channel and add his name in the comments. Basically, this guy, he's the one that initiated this. Okay, they're just in damage control right now. He's the one that initiated this, and he was talking about the laptops and the right to repair, and basically them, without saying it, basically forcing everybody to only repair their equipment with Apple. You know, they have created situations where, and laws and rules that seem to imply this, and now they are fighting themselves. But why? You know, why? It's because of something that we are going to touch, you know. Of course, the phenomenon, Apollo, you know. Yeah, you know, why not? You know, why not? And of course, if you want to know why what happened to Ethiopia happened, this is the post from our friends over here. This is why that whole situation over there happened. So like I've said, Babylon. Babylon activity. Yeah. The pictures here, you know, as above, so below. This is why they are creating this scandal. I don't know, 2 or 3 times these people have been sued and they have basically won. Okay, and if you combine that with what the Rwandans keep saying, well, it's a mess. It's a mess, you know. There's always shifting of blame and there's always money to be made. And as long as they can keep this going on, they can keep on looting. So this is in the hands of the Rwanda and Congo and Uganda to finish this. Okay, I've not seen you 3 talk anytime about anything. So what? Are you like benefiting from this whole situation? Because Rwanda admits that it is, in one way or the other, benefiting from the looting of that country. So like I've said in that other video, it's in the hands of the Rwandans, it's in the hands of the Burundi, the Congolese. If you want to fight, fight. If you kill each other, then maybe you have a different perspective of things. That word again, biohacking. This is the beast speaking. So with the jabs, they're trying to biohack, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're biohacking. They are injecting information, just like hacking, in order to cause a predetermined result, okay, which is the spike proteins. So they are biohacking you, and it's a game to these people. They have put a face to the agenda, a face that people believe and trust, and now it's normalized. This idea that we can be superhumans whilst we are already superhuman. But I don't know. It's the greed of man, I guess. The greed for power and pride and ego and stuff like that. You know. That will be the death of many people. So, yeah, I'd like to not go on and on, but you know, I just end it there. Prince Easy, love you. Signing out. Bye.